Next fight, Andy. Dynamite Dean Bray versus that Gladiator, Ross Pointon.
Star of The Ultimate Fighter, Ross Pointon, takes on Dynamite Dean Bray.
I know about Dynamite Dean Bray that he's a stand-up fighter. His ground game doesn't look that good, you know, so it's going to be a good fight, an explosive fight, you know. I'm going to take it straight to him and let's get it on live.
I know Ross has been training in the States, been training with good people. I know he's become a big name over here because of his TV footage, but he's going to have his hands full with me tonight.
Been working loads on my groundwork and I can't wait to get in there, you know, and put it all into action.
Hopefully he's worked enough on his cardio, because I know I have. Any opportunity I get to finish this fight, I will take it.
I predict a first round knockout within the first 2 minutes. I'm just going to come out all guns blazing, full throttle.
If I can win by a knockout or strikes, then I'll do that. Take it down to the ground, I'll win by submission.
Well, Dynamite Dean Bray, all I've got to say to you is I'm going to put your fuse out before you even get a chance to go off.
Stand by for action. Ross Pointon versus Dean Bray.
Ross weighs in at 76.8 kilograms. Dean weighs in at 76.8 kilograms. I'm not a fox, there's a fight in the cave, but I'm hard as.
Oh, and it's a knockout. It's all over. Dean Bray's been working very, very hard with the elite fighting system and of course Team Titan with Mickey Pappas, and he is in probably the best condition of his life at the moment.
It's interesting, but it shows that both guys who are coming in off losses. Dean Bray lost in the Contenders show, and Ross Pointon, as Rob said, lost against Muhammad. And look at that left hand, landed good for Ross Pointon. Dean Bray defending the guillotine choke. The arms in. We've seen people get the tap from here. Dean Bray doing the right thing, just trying to put the blade across. The blade, of course, being the forearm.
And guys, Pointon did say this is going to be over before it starts.
And it's fast-paced and explosive.
Pointon came out in a fury, throwing strikes, and he landed that knee there. Pointon on fire at the moment. All offense by Ross the Gladiator Pointon.
And he does look in great shape.
Now this stand-up maybe will give Dean Bray time to regroup, Rob.
A good leg kick by Ross Pointon. Ross seems very, very hungry, being the total aggressor at the moment. Dean Bray looking slightly nervous there as Ross was pursuing him.
Steve, to me it looks like Ross is walking through him.
Ross is dominating the fight right now, but he's going to use a lot of energy trying to get this guillotine choke. Does he have it? He's only got it halfway. Every time he goes for that guillotine choke, he's going to spend a lot of energy, and as the bout continues, that's going to favor Dean Bray, who's now on top.
Top position, Dean Bray sprawling, looking to use the knee on their way up. Dean again looking to sweep the leg as they clash against the side of the cage. Ross with a great shot that saw Dean go for a knee bar.
Knee bar, he's got it.
It's on, it's in.
Ross has got to put his right heel on the butt of Dean Bray and push his way off, otherwise it could be in problems, but Dean lets it go, goes for the top position. Now Ross going for an Achilles lock, but he's probably not going to get it. It's a very hard submission to get without shoes on.
Looking for the Achilles crush. Dean Bray does a good job of changing position, gaining the back of Ross Pointon and looking for the neck. Ross does a good job of just throwing him off. What a topsy-turvy battle.
An interesting fact is that both these men, win or lose, have never gone the distance. The judges have never decided a fight for either one of these gentlemen.
Dean Bray sort of looking for an armbar, but Ross pops up and starts to strike. Ross Pointon showing a cut across his forehead.
I feel for Dean this is going to have to be a real thinking fight, because it's obvious the power is there with Pointon.
Ross moved to man position. Dean Bray turns into guard. He needs to be careful here. Ross Pointon's doing a good job of looking for that armbar.
Pointon going for an omoplata.
Sorry.
Who would have thought this would happen in this match? We're seeing everything in the kitchen sink. Dean Bray getting back control now over Ross Pointon. This fight has seen it all so far. They're back to their feet.
Dean Bray trying to get his hooks in while they were down on the floor, but now they're up. throws a couple of shots, makes some space.
There was a short elbow there from Bray that landed.
It's as if Ross Pointon wants to make sure this fight doesn't get out of the first round, but I think that he's starting to collect his second wind as a result.
Big looping right hand of Bray. Pointon covered up well. Pointon goes to strike. Bray pulls him to guard position against the back of the cage. Not a good position to be in.
No, because you can get struck just like that. Dean Bray keeping the guard open. Pointon has slowed down his punch offense quite a bit from the beginning of this round.
You can see Pointon just smothering Dean Bray there. Firing in those shots.
Ross would be wise to pick his shots here.
Armbar attempt by Dean Bray. Ross Pointon sees it from early. Just firing away with that right hand. Dean Bray's covered up.
But he's still taking the impact of those on his glove, which is covering his ear. Ross diving in, almost diving into a triangle choke.
Dean Bray rolls over, looking for the takedown on Ross, and gains it.
Dean Bray finally gets his own takedown. Dean Bray on top, but Ross sitting up. Is Ross going to try and stand up?
Ross looks like he's breathing pretty heavy as Dean Bray puts the hooks in and looks for the rear naked choke.
Now we're going to see how far Ross Pointon has evolved in his jiu-jitsu game defensively. Dean Bray with both hooks loosely in, belly up position, and Ross turns around. Beautiful move by Ross Pointon.
This is so hard to predict, Rise, isn't it?
What an absolutely great match.
I'm picking up on what you said earlier. Is it because both guys see they've got so much to lose here?
You can see Ross Pointon just firing that little short leg kick. Dean Bray. Now this for me is worrying from Dean. He pulls his head back. He needs to be really careful in
when
that position.
Head comes back, the chin comes up, doesn't it?
That's right, and he needs to be very aware of that. There, Ross looking for the guillotine. Here again, he's firing the leg kick.
And Ross throws low kick after low kick, and Dean is flailing away. Dean trying for his own takedown. Ross stuffing it for a moment, but then getting taken down and using a lot of energy on that guillotine choke. Now here we have Ross going for another takedown. I think it may come into play, but the thing is more than psychology is the cardiovascular element. How much Ross Pointon put out energy-wise in that fight? Will it come back to be his own nightmare? We shall see.
And Rob, you mentioned the way Dean moves and the way he moves away. Do you think he's conscious of the power of Pointon?
I think he is. You know, he needs to be really careful. My only criticism at this point is that Dean needs to keep his chin down.
Yeah, I think Dean is doing the right thing by circling to the right, because that way he stays away from that right low kick of Ross Pointon. And now he's going to the left. That was a crisp low kick by Dean Bray. Pointon seems to be like he's recollecting himself, trying to get into second gear with his cardio.
Yeah, I think Pointon literally wants to close the distance and fire those shots. Dean Bray extending his arms for those big looping punches.
Well, the problem for Pointon at the moment, he's walking his man down but not taking any advantage of that.
There he goes, pulling another guillotine, but the arm is in again. It's not a threat. Dean Bray is going to cross face there and pop out. Another wasted attempt by Ross Pointon. He's on his back now.
That's right, and he's expending a lot of energy all the time. He's trying for that guillotine choke.
Good stand-up move there by Pointon, but he eats a partial knee as a result.
You get the feeling that Bray is growing in confidence as the match goes on.
He really is, because I think that is partly due to the fact that Ross Pointon is not as aggressive.
And Rob, this was the point I'm making. Ross Pointon walks his man down, but then gets caught coming in. He's not doing anything with that, is he?
No, for me, he's trying to close the range too much. Looking at Ross, he's trying to get within a foot's distance to start trading, whereas Dino's throwing those shots from a long way out. Again, the guillotine choke.
Yeah, the half a guillotine has not worked.
Oh, he's catch!
Well, it sure did work.
Wow.
Amazing! Ross Pointon went for a fourth time to that half guillotine.
was so shocked when this tap came in.
Oh yeah, because look at the neck is cranked. It's almost a neck crank. I mean, it's a guillotine and it is a choke, but the way his neck was pulled up like that, that was a really bad position, and Ross just went for it. He gave it all, and he got it.
After 2 minutes, 10 seconds of round 2, we have a winner by way of guillotine, Ross Gladiator Pointon! Your runner-up, Dynamite Dean Bray!
A kitchen accident right there in the cage. That's nasty.
Do you know what? I'm gutted for Dino, but Dino had a little pint. I'm sure he's feeling better already, mate.
Yeah, of course he will. Always back to fight another day. That's the beauty of the cage rage fighters. Doesn't matter if you win or lose. Put on a good display, you'll be back. Dino, Dynamite Dean Bray, you will be back, of course.